Against President Bush's plan for the Iraq war, but on the campaign trail, staking out their positions becomes much trickier. Is the war already lost? Should we pull out now? And what will the U.S. leave behind if it does? With me now to discuss how the candidates will handle these questions at the big debate tomorrow night, Director of Campus Programs for the Independent Women's Forum, Allison Kasic, and Democratic strategist and former spokesman for Al Gore during the recount in the 2000 election, Jamal Simmons. All right, Jamal, let me start with you. How important will it be for the candidates to really delve with some specificity into how they would get out of Iraq?
Well, it's going to be more important that the candidates show how to distinguish themselves against each other, and I think they're going to probably take some pretty hard shots at the Bush administration for getting us into this mess. We've got a long time to go in this process, and people are just coming out with their foreign policy stances. You've got people like Joe Biden, who's had a foreign policy position on Iraq for a long time. Barack Obama just did a speech a few weeks ago. Hillary Clinton is out there. So there's going to be a little jousting between them, but I think most of the fire will be directed at George Bush.
Is that what you think is going to happen, Allison?
Well, certainly all the Democratic contenders are, disagree with the president on this, but it'll be interesting to see if anyone takes any jabs at Hillary Clinton, who's tried to play, a little more down the middle on Iraq, and it hasn't really been working out so well for her. So this could be an opportunity to get some jabs in at the front runner.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out here exactly how this is going to work, Jamal, and she raises an interesting point. Can you really just go after George Bush? Isn't the point when you're heading into the primaries to really distinguish yourself from the other candidates?
Well, this first debate is sort of like a sparring match between the candidates. In 2004, I worked for Wesley Clark, and one of the things you want to do in this kind of situation is, and Bob Graham, one of the things you want to do in this kind of situation is just not make a mistake, and you want to feel out your opponents. Let's see how they respond to little jabs before you get into the real big heart of the match, which will come a few months from now.
What are we going to see, do you think, Allison, between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton?
Well, let's make no mistake about it. This is the Barack and Hillary show. All eyes are on them. And it'll be really interesting to see so much the personality differences, not so much on the issues necessarily. How does she compare, like when she's right next to him on stage? Will he outshine her? Will he have the substance to kind of back up the sizzle that he's been having in the polls? I mean, I think that all eyes are definitely on them tomorrow night.
Yeah, Jamal, if we're not going to get into too much specificity and we're not going to see them going against each other in the way we might in some of the later debates, how much of this debate tomorrow is really going to be about sort of who shines, who has the personality, and who presents that combination not only of likability but gravitas that people are looking for, particularly in a post 9/11 world?
Yeah, at this stage, it really is about expectations. So, Barack Obama exceeded expectations during the fundraising phase. You may have someone like a Bill Richardson, who's a very charismatic politician, who I think may shine in an environment like this because he's clearly got a lot of experience. He's traveled the world. He just got back from North Korea. So you could see someone like Bill Richardson really stand out in this kind of situation, as well as a Joe Biden or a Chris Dodd. These are very experienced politicians who will be on the stage. So I think it'll be a pretty interesting effort to distinguish themselves without really causing so much of a dust that they could make a mistake.
Yeah, Allison, so much has been focused on their fundraising ability and how big the crowds they've been getting are. I mean, certainly we've seen Hillary and Barack Obama leading very strongly in both of those areas. But is this the first real big opportunity, Allison, for a lower-ranked candidate to really break through and say, I'm the real one here who could sort of separate myself from the rest of the pack?
Well, I think you'll see a big difference between sort of the first-tier candidates, Edwards, Obama, and Hillary, and the rest of the candidates. The big candidates, they're sort of a little more on the defensive. They just don't want to make a mistake. Whereas the people like, Chris Dodd and Joe Biden, this is their opportunity to really kind of stand out on one issue. And let's face it, a lot of these people are running for vice president. So this is sort of their opportunity to get some national exposure that Hillary and Obama have been dominating over the past couple months.
Although, of course, they would all deny that they're running for vice president. Allison, Jamal, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.